Hi there, I'm Heidi Nord and I am a Martha Beck life coach in training. And Martha Beck is amazing, I love her, and she has taught us the change cycle. So I'm going to hold up the Martha Beck change cycle. It's right here, but I changed it a little bit. So we have square one here, which is death and rebirth, square two, which is dreaming and scheming, square three, which is the hero saga, and square four, which is the promised land. And what I am thinking about this is that it's really related to time. So I made the back of this is the core of peace. So as we're looping around, we go from square one to square two, square three, square four. Once we make a loop, we get closer and closer into the center, which to me seems like the core of peace. Now, some people, like Eckhart Tolle and Byron Katie, had an event where boom, they got straight to the core of peace. So if I take a pair of scissors and cut this, I get straight to the core of peace. For others of us, and this is me, it's taken a long time to get to the core of peace. And I see a lot of moments at the core of peace, and I see still lots of moments where I'm not at the core of peace, where I'm in resistance. And I, am kind of going back and forth in that cycle. But every time, I get to square one, it takes away part of that social self. So, if I just cut these layers off, once I go through that death and rebirth square, it kind of takes away some of these layers and gets me closer and closer into the core of peace. Now, this is where, my goal is to be here all of the time, but sometimes I get drawn back out here. So that's why in some ways it feels really good to go through this, death and rebirth, get back into square one, because I feel like that's getting me closer to the center. So as we cut through these layers, I get closer and closer into that little place where there's the core of peace. Now, if I get all the way there, and I have some moments of this, I have some moments of really very clear clarity. And here's the core of peace. And Martha Beck talked about the infinity loop. So here's the infinity loop where I feel like this is where when, Einstein says that time doesn't exist, once you've been through the death and rebirth, and you keep going through all of the squares, you get closer and closer into the center where you're getting to this core of peace. And then it does seem like everything's happening at once, because I can remember, what I now call my old life and the thought patterns that were associated with that. And I can remember that, but I no longer identify with it. So I know that that existed in a time and space prior to now, but it's no longer in actual existence. And that's where it seems like time has stopped. And then also, when I look out to the horizon and see sparkles and, I feel like I can see the thousand veils that Rumi speaks of, those are the moments that I am in the core of peace. And it seems like time doesn't exist because I feel like I'm in the here and now and that everything is already okay. So that's, one way that I think of the Martha Beck change cycle. And thank you so much, Martha, and all of the master coaches. I feel so lucky that I get to be a part of the program to learn all of these wonderful tools. Have a great day. Thank you.